Yo, new Berserk chapter. Uh, I can't be the only one that didn't realize the chapter dropped, right? The, I mean, this shit did not make waves whatsoever. I guess that's to be expected since after reading the chapter, I'm gonna be honest, not a whole lot happened plot wise. So yeah, it seems like we have a transition chapter upon our hands. Not that that's a bad thing. Of course, every chapter can't be an absolute banger. We need transition chapters every now and then. So there's not a whole lot to say here for this review, but you know what? Let's just go through it. But before the chapter even starts, we're given this super gorgeous color page where it basically details the events of the chapter. We've got Serpico, Azan, Isidro, and Puck banding together with the Kushans to fight back against the troll army from the last chapter. And of course, we have the absolute legend, Farnese, just looking over everybody as if she's a god. I said this before in my last chapter review, but I just can't believe how far Farnese has come as a character, man. It's like watching somebody go from eating crayons to solving quantum physics. Like, holy shit, what she's been able to do in this chapter was so impressive. So let's just talk about that real quick, because that's the big elephant in the room right now. Earlier in another review, I predicted that this battle, this whole entire confrontation, has to end with a victory for the Alliance. Because if they want to have any hopes, any smidgen of hope of defeating Griffith's army, they have to have the moral high ground here and defeat Rakshas's many... I don't even want to call it an army, because compared to Griffith's, this is literally nothing. And it's in this chapter that we see the tides finally start to switch in favor of the Alliance. One of the things I was looking forward to the most was the battle with Silat and Rakshas. Unfortunately, that didn't really happen, and I guess that's the biggest criticism I have with Studio Gaga's work here, because even though they do good altercations and I've been happy with the story thus far, there hasn't been really any fight or choreography that is really apparent or good. And this was the perfect situation and the perfect time to have that play out. So it's kind of unfortunate that Rakshas was forced to flee the scene and go somewhere else. So when Guts does eventually return to the story, I really hope that we get those fights that Miura was widely known for. Now, even though I didn't get that fight I wanted, Silat still had an amazing moment here where he connects everyone's minds with telepathy using Daiba's powers, and he reminds everyone, the Kushans, who they are and what they fight for. I guess this comparison might seem a little disrespectful, but it really did remind me of Erwin's speech from Attack on Titan. You know, the one where they're riding on horses. I don't want to spoil anything in case nobody watched that scene, which I don't think there are many people that haven't, but the one where he's like, Heishio Hike! Heishio Sakebe! Heishio Tadaka! You know, that one? Yeah. The thing I like the most about his speech, though, wasn't even his speech actually, it's how it coincided with Farnese's spell, which, by all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same spell that Shirke used to create that astral barrier dozens and dozens of chapters ago. Though both spells do look visually identical, Farnese is obviously a lot weaker than Shirke even at this moment, and we can clearly see that here because the application of their spells greatly differ. When Shirke used her spell all those chapters ago, she was able to disintegrate every single troll in the vicinity. However, for Farnese's case here, she couldn't deal with the ones that were stuck inside the palace, who were likely shielded from her magic. But anyway, Silat's speech and Farnese's spell showed the Kushans that they had a fighting chance against these horrific monsters. I thought that whole moment, that whole situation was done great. And that brings us to the end of the chapter, where Rakshas flees and goes to Guts' location. Now, based on the ending of the last chapter, I think it's fairly obvious that his goal here is to try and take over Guts' body, and he was probably his goal this whole time. Now, I'm more interested to see how that whole situation will play out. Now, what I mean by that, I mean, Beast of Darkness time. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna reject Rakshas and or kill him, or will he let him mingle with Guts? I don't even know what's gonna go on there, but it's about time something happens with Guts, man. He's been sidelined for so long. I'm just excited to see our big boy swing his big bunker and come back into action. I need that shit so bad. Or maybe none of that is going to happen and Shirk is just going to come and rescue the day, but who knows. Well, good news is, we don't have to wait long. Next chapter is coming out relatively soon, and I'm looking forward to that. Well, that's about it for this review. Like, subscribe, all that jazz, or don't, and we'll see you all in the next one. See ya.